Okay guys, so here is our review video for Unit 1, and here's our worksheet 1.0. And these types of questions here at the top, questions 1 through 8, are not typically going to be on this test. The bottom half, however, here where we have the lab equipment, you will have a couple of questions on that. Let's move on to worksheet number 2. And on worksheet number 2, we need to look at, this is the one where we looked at videos, and we are not going to be looking at any video information, so worksheet 1.1 will not be on the test. Worksheet 1.2. Worksheet 1.2, question number 1, no, but looking at number 2, this area here where it talks about the metric units, not including weight, would be on there. I will give you table 3 on the board or in a handout, and then for 4 through 14, no. I do want you to have a feel for how big is a meter versus a centimeter, which was the point of that worksheet. So, worksheet 1.3, metric units, physical versus chemical. Question 1, no, because that asks you to estimate, and I'm more asking you to do calculations. Question 2 and 3, yes. You will need to be able to do that, but I will do things that I find are very easy to determine, very straightforward. And I think question 2 is fine. Question 3 starts to get into some things that are a little bit more ambiguous, like let's say I, where it says a leaf turning yellow. To me, that's a little ambiguous. I'm not sure how deeply you would think about it in terms of your answer. So, looking at worksheet 1.4, and here's where we are doing the metric conversions, and yes, you will have to do those because you will use that table that I will give you from the other worksheet, and you will have to calculate percent error. I will not ask you to sketch graphs. So looking at 1.5, significant figures. Significant figures, I am going to ask you to do significant figures. You will have to either tell me how many are in a measurement. You'll have a few of those like you did on your quiz. You will have to use scientific notation for some to be able to convert them and show the correct number of significant figures. But questions like number 24 here, where it has the little line over a number, I'm not going to use that. So, converting between scientific and standard notation, yes, you will have to be able to do that. You will have to round a number to the correct number of significant figures. However, I won't ask you to do several roundings of one number. I'll just give you a number and ask you to round it correctly. So, worksheet 1.6, also significant figures. And again, we won't be using the little bars, but these times we're doing some conversions in terms of we're either doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And you have to be able to round it correctly in terms of significant figures after doing those calculations, just like you did on your quiz. I will expect you to know the formula for the volume of a box or rectangular solid, but I will give you the ones for cylinder and sphere that are here. I will also give you tables of densities as needed, and I will ask you to use the density formula and Archimedes' principle to look at calculating either volume, density, or mass. In terms of Archimedes' principle, it could also ask you to calculate the apparent mass of a solid, or a solid submerged in a liquid. And so that brings us to the second page of 1.7, and we see here some of the Archimedes principle questions. And so I think those are very straightforward and certainly very doable. So here is worksheet 1.8. And here we're doing dimensional analysis to do conversions. So if we look at this first question, we just do feet, inches into feet, or meters into inches. I can ask you to convert between metric and English and metric. I will give you this table, except for not the part down here, because you'll already have that on a different table. And I can also ask you to do a compound or 2-unit conversion. I'll get another video out there with something like question number 6, just so you know what I'm talking about. And let's see, 1.9 is kind of a summary of all of that. And you can see anything you see here is possible. The things like questions 25, 26, and 27, I will ask you to read some piece of equipment and estimate the correct number of significant digits. So in the case of question 25, it is marked to the 0.2 of a milliliter, so you should estimate in between that. So this, I would think, would be 2.3. Since it's only marked to the 2, so that bottom one is 2, the next one is 2 more, so it's halfway between 2 and 4, so it'd be 2.3. Okay, I think that about does it. I did want to show you the review sheet or the reference sheet just in case you haven't seen it. And here's some Archimedes principle sample problems. And so first you should be able to tell me what is Archimedes principle, and then you should be able to do these type of calculations. However, I think D is a little tricky, so I wouldn't ask you that one. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you.